What's going on, guys? Bob Roche from RocheTechnology.com here with a pretty unscripted video for you. This is just going to be the video telling you guys the reasons why I decided to sell my iPhone 5. Now, you guys probably never saw this coming. Personally, I never even saw this coming until yesterday, last night-ish. So now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. Like I said, this is going to be an unscripted video, but one thing I do want to get out there is that I'm not going to be switching to an Android phone or anything like that. So if that's what you clicked this video for, that's what you wanted to hear, rather than, just hitting that dislike button, storming off in a rage of fury, try hitting that other dislike button. I think it's up in that corner. It's that red one. Or I think if you're on Windows, it'd be over in that corner. Just go ahead and hit that button instead, or like the back button in your browser, which I think would also be over there on OS X and over there on Windows. Just pointing you in the right directions there. But regardless, like I said, I'm not going to be switching to an Android phone or anything like that. I still love the iPhone 5. It's not a bad phone at all. But I guess I'll just jump right into the first reason, and that's simply just because of how much it costs and what I could be doing with that money instead. So as you guys know, my channel is a Hackintosh channel, and mainly I do other content as well, but Hackintosh is kind of my main thing and I love doing it. And $800, that's probably about half of a brand new Hackintosh system, which I really do want. I don't plan on building it anytime soon. I will wait after the holidays to do any sort of new build for myself. But that is definitely some good money that I could be using towards a good Hackintosh build, rather than just having a phone in my pocket. And like I said, the iPhone 5 is a very, very nice phone. Going back, let's see, here's the iPhone 5, and then here's the iPhone 4S. Going back to this guy, even just in my hands right now, there's a significant weight difference. The screen is much smaller on this guy than on this guy, and trust me, a lot of you Android guys are saying it's only a 4-inch screen. Trust me, that half an inch makes an insane difference. And if you hold the phone like this, as you can see, the phones are actually pretty darn close in size, but the iPhone 5, I'll go ahead and I'll just line up the screens here. You can see the iPhone 5 screen is that much bigger. So what they did is on the iPhone 5, they made the screen bigger, but they shrank the bezels. So the phone really is almost, I wouldn't say almost identical, but pretty close to the same height. So to you guys that are saying the screen is not a big difference, trust me, it really is. Especially now that a lot of the apps are actually taking advantage of the bigger screen, you really do notice it. That Apple is not exaggerating that at all. You really do notice a huge difference. But like I said, going back to the 4S really is going to kind of suck. The screen is just amazing on that. But honestly, that's about it, other than like the screen and the weight. LTE is really nice to have, but because I don't live in a huge, like a really big town, LTE speeds here are kind of disappointing as compared to what I've seen others getting. I've seen others getting anywhere from like 20 to 50 megabits down, anywhere from like 20 to 40 up. And here I'm getting about, at like the best I've ever gotten is 12 down and about 4 up. And the average I get down is about 8 down and like 3 up. So the LTE speeds aren't that all impressive right now, and so honestly that's not a huge factor for me. I thought they'd be much faster, but I guess by the time the next iPhone comes out, or even the one after that, hopefully my area has better LTE coverage. But like I said, just between the two screens is the biggest thing that I'm really going to miss, especially like when it's on. As you see, I actually have a bunch of Tweetbot notifications here, but you can see how much more information I can see on the iPhone 5 than on the 4S. And so that really does play into a lot of applications. And like I said, the weight and things like that. But for that phone costing me $800, it's not that, I'm going to go live in poverty because I bought the iPhone. It's just that there's things that I'd rather do with that money. So hopefully you guys can sort of understand that. And like I said, I don't hate the iPhone 5 in any way. I'm actually kind of sad that I'm going to be letting it go. But honestly, I think it's just, the best decision for me. Like I said, I can start building that Ivy Bridge system. I do want to get myself a better mic so I don't have to be using the onboard one or that crappy one I have for when I do screen captures. Like I said, so the better mic, Hackintosh build. The holidays are coming up. I'd rather spend my money on, people and friends that I care about rather than just having a nice phone in my pocket. And honestly, next year I am due for an upgrade. I think most of you people are if you bought the iPhone 4S. So by that time, LTE will probably be a little bit better here. And then I can just get a brand new phone and only pay $300 instead of paying around $800 or so. So that's just my quick reasons. I announced this on Twitter today, and a lot of people were like, "Say what?" in words of David DeFranco. So I just want to get this video out there. Like I said, very unorganized, very unscripted. Hopefully not too long. See, about 7-8 minutes. That's not too bad. So what do you guys think? If you were in my shoes, would you do the same thing? Could you never let that iPhone 5 go? Like I said, personally, going back to the 4S really is going to be a task for the next like week or two, but it's nothing that I can't handle. And besides the bigger screen, there's really not that big of a difference, at least for me, in terms of going from the 4S to the 5. And it's certainly not worth it. You know, it's not an $800 difference to where, you know, I could go back to the 4S. I mean, if the iPhone 4S is still a very nice phone, it still runs all the latest apps that are on the iPhone 5. So I'm a happy camper going back to the 4S. And like I said, I'll upgrade to the next phone next year. And you know, the geek inside of me is happy. I was able to get my hands on the phone. I got some content out there for you guys about it, and so even if I sell it and break even, I still feel that I kind of gained something there. So I'm very happy. I don't regret buying the phone at all, and I do already have a buyer lined up for it. But if that falls through, there will be an annotation or, you know, link in the description to wherever I list it. But that kind of just remains to be seen. But like I said, those are just my quick reasons for selling the iPhone 5. I'm not switching to an Android phone. I don't hate iOS. I don't hate the iPhone 5. So like I said, if that's what you guys wanted to hear and you've watched this far, please don't, you know, click that dislike button. Click the appropriate dislike button in your browser to actually close this window, or even, you know, the tab, wherever that is up there. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this very unorganized video. I'm at CPUKid on Twitter. Also be sure to check out RocheTechnology.com and at RocheTechnology on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in my next video.